Hello everybody and welcome to St. Louis Downtown Airport, and we're going to do a short hop to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport, the other side of the city of St. Louis. And we've got here the Citation Longitude as our jet today. We're going to mimic a true-to-life chartered flight, and yeah, we'll have a little chat as we go. We're going to try and do this as quick as we can.
No takeoff.
I think it was getting unhappy with me having the brakes on and then hammering up the power, but we're at full power now. Gonna keep it on the centre line. Wheels going up.
Swift 24 continue for east departure. Swift 24 leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
We'll just acknowledge that.
Downtown Tower, Swift 24 frequency change.
Right, so we'll get ourselves balanced and then we'll have a proper chat about what's going on here. So 245, it's about where we want to be. We are climbing slightly. Right, steady and stable. We're slightly right of track. Just going to make a little adjustment here. Okay, so as my aircraft code has shown, this is all in relation to the plane spotting that's going on and the controversy with people tracking flights of celebrities, in particular Taylor Swift. And clearly there is an environmental issue with this as well. Have a look at some of these peer-reviewed articles that are available on the internet. They make for some interesting reading. And I'm kind of opening it up really for a bit of debate and a bit of topic discussion about how bad it really is. In particular, the sort of chartered aviation side of things. Clearly, commercial aviation is a big business. Military aviation, in particular, are probably the biggest sort of greenhouse gas emitters. There are plenty of studies for that as well. It's an interesting topic that you could get delving into. In particular, I think Elon Musk and Taylor Swift are getting a lot of focus at the moment. But what about there's probably 1,000,001 nameless businessmen and women who work for all sorts of companies that take chartered journeys across the world on a fairly regular basis, and should we be right to be singling out in particular celebrities who are high risk because of the sort of people that they attract and how difficult it is for them to get through, say, somewhere as densely populated as St. Louis? I had a little look on Google Maps to work out how long it would take you to take this journey by land. I think this is Highway 64. I think you would take for most of it, and on a good day you can do it in 35 minutes. Our destination is here, so we need to start thinking about landing like straight away, really. So before I get too task saturated, I already need to start thinking about planning my approach.
Spirit Tower Swift 24 is 11 miles east, 9,700 feet with whiskey to land.
Swift 24 Spirit Tower. QNH tree 0.04 wind 019er at tree. Fly left downwind runway 8 right.
3004. Can I? Oh, it was on it already. Right. So left downwind for runway 8. So we'll go out over the river and do a series of left turns and we'll swing it in. But yeah, certainly celebrities and the people that they attract, they have to have their own security teams, things like that, that are expensive to run. You have to have a lot of ex-military people who know what they're doing for close protection. Particularly with high-value targets, people like celebrities that, should they be kidnapped or something? I don't think there's been a kidnapping of a celebrity for quite some time, although I know that they have sort of foiled some plots and things in the past. I think what's kind of interesting though is that, in particular with the Taylor Swift case, is that she's now threatening to sue the chap who's running that website, posting her flights, saying that it's a security issue. But if you're going from airport to airport, airports are very secure places by the nature of what they're doing. And it's just about planning your security ahead of that. So, yeah, obviously there's issues with paparazzi and issues like that, but then again, that's the curse of celebrity, really. It's how you manage those issues and anticipate them. So it's certainly an interesting topic. I'm going to leave the comments open for people to pitch their thoughts and feelings. But have a look at those peer-reviewed articles. Certainly, aviation is, as an environmental polluter, it's still some sources are saying it's like 2%. Some are saying more like 22% in relation to sort of global emissions from other modes of transport. Clearly, there's a need for a reduction in greenhouse gases, but a lot of that is coming from like the haulage industry, ships and boats, private cars and things. And yes, we're going electric, although that itself has some issues in lithium mining and some of the exploitation and stuff that's going on in developing parts of the world. So there's all sorts of issues with that. There are attempts to look at different types of fuel, hydrogen fuel cells, ammonia engines I read about fairly recently. That was an interesting one. I'm hoping that something will happen that will allow us to change the fuels that we use for this sort of thing, and that as a result we are going to see...
Clear to land runway 8 right.
Oh, thank you.
Cleared to land runway 8 right, Swift 24.
So yeah, we will see a change in fuels that will allow this sort of transportation to happen in a much more environmentally friendly way. So that would be nice. Right, I'm just acutely aware that I have a 180 turn to complete here. And I'm quite glad that the wind is facing the direction that it was today, so it hasn't been a sort of straight out from one airfield and straight into the other. We've had to kind of turn around at both ends, so that this is kind of as long as possible. There's the airfield out the window. It's not the best visibility in this thing. I'm just going to straighten up here because I think we just need to... Was it right or left? I'm sure it was left. Right. I'm glad I've checked that. We're going for this one. was lining up on that one. Right, on the centre line. Being a bit harsh with the rudder here. Spilling all the cocktails in the back here. Right.
500.
A little high.
200.
I'm going to mash it in anyway, just because.
150.
There we go, we're down. Don't hire me as your private jet pilot, by the way. But yeah, there we are.
Swift 24 turn next taxiway.
I think that concludes it nicely. We've talked about some interesting topics, and that is a real-life flight. It's an interesting topic, and how significant the impact of aviation is.
Contact ground on 121.7.
That's enough for today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you haven't checked out any of my other videos, have a look, and I hope you've learned something today. Take care.